Okay, so hi, my name is Gemma Rosenthal, and this is Creative Hearts. And today we have the lovely Helen Francis, and we're going to be talking about the topic of spring and re emerging into spring. And I've got one of Helen's lovely cards here with me. And Helen, do you want to say hi and yeah, explain a
Hello,
little bit about yourself and why the topic of spring today.
hello, everybody. Um, Spring today, yes, April. In the UK. We've had wonderful couple of weeks of really nice weather, and everything's just suddenly come out. My blossoms come out in the last couple of days, and Gemma and I had a chat, and we thought it would be a nice topic for a spiritual basis for for the beginning of April. Uh, um, and yeah, we just thought
Yeah,
it'd be a really nice topic.
pretty much. Just for anyone who hasn't joined Creatives Connect before, I do monthly Zoom calls and have guest hosts such as Helen joining, and the calls are for anyone that is interested in spirituality and creativity. And something that both me and Helen have in common is those two aspects. So, drawing on the inspiration that we're given and then turning it into art or creativity and helping others with that art and creativity. Myself, it tends to come out in songs, and I've got a little song to show you, something that I came up with today. Well, not, I didn't write it today, I did it the other day and recorded it. And
It's
I've put
hot
it,
off the press.
yes, it is. It's very new, so the editing is just very basic at the minute, but I did it on this keyboard here, and it just came through as inspiration for the topic of spring. So I'm going to show you that in a moment soon. But before I do, I just want to go around and just ask everyone to just introduce yourself. You can say who you are and a little bit about your business if you run a business. If you don't run a business, that's okay too, or a little bit about your creative self as well. So I'll start and then I'll go to Helen, and then anyone else can join in and share. So you just unmute yourself. Obviously, if there's two people unmuted, we'll just go one at a time. But I'm Gemma, and I sing and I write songs. I'm also a dancer, and I've done acting, lots of acting as well. And I just love all things creative. So, part of the reason why I created Creative Hearts is, well, I trained as a life coach and a Reiki healer. So, that's something that I offer is Reiki sessions and life coaching sessions, as well as finding your voice session. And I wanted a space where spiritual entrepreneurs and creative entrepreneurs could come together and to help each other and support each other. So that's why I created Creatives Connect. That's a bit about me. Helen, would you like to go?
Yes, thank you, honey. Um, yeah, I met Gemma online through a mutual friend, and we clicked quite quickly because you were doing a dance to do with mermaids and a song that you'd written, and I just at the end of the dance I went, well, I look at the back of my sofa, and there was a mermaid throw over the back of my sofa. So yeah, I'm into wild swimming quite a lot. A few of you online will know that I like my wild swimming, and so I'm intuitive, psychic, fae, and angel channeler, and I've created my oracle deck from photographs that I've channeled over the last 7 or 8 years, called Enchanted Impressions, which some of you know about, and yeah, also do if you get any blobs or squiggles and things on photographs, I can very often interpret them. If you send them to me, I can tell you the messages they come through. So that's quite exciting. That's a new thing that I've kind of been doing. So yeah, thank you, Gemma.
Thank you. Who would like to go next? Just share a bit about themselves.
Yeah, well, hello everybody. I'm Vicky. At the moment, I am sort of training to be a holistic practitioner. I've done life coaching in the past, so I can really identify what Gemma said. Well, I went to college years ago, but I didn't finish my degree in acting. I had a burnout as well about 20 years ago, and I've been on a spiritual path ever since. So I'm really happy that I found Gemma, and like I keep saying, that this is the best WhatsApp group that I've joined. And I met Helen at her house in a Alice in Wonderland garden recently as well. We had a really good afternoon. My friend came over from Stockport, and it really cheered me up because she's just so full of fun and joy. I haven't launched yet, so it'll be over the next few months. I'm just here to celebrate spring. Thank you.
Excellent.
Next. Thank you.
Hi, so my name's Adam Douglas. I'm a coach and artist from the UK. So my creative works came about through COVID. It's recently gone into a book, which is going to come out very shortly. So it's part of the Start Over series. And in terms of my coaching, I'm rapidly supporting people in terms of uh, people who have essentially been classified as lightweight, people who are looking to improve their assertiveness, people who are overthinkers or need regulation. I help them as well. So can help in lots of different ways. I joined this group a while ago, and it's been pivotal. It's a really good group, really great bunch of people.
Thanks, Adam. Thank you so much. And you've also been doing a lot of like art as well, and in COVID, and that's what your book. That's just the book that you're in has just come out. So start over, is it? Is it starting over?
Yeah, so it's part of it's going to be the Start Over series. It's already launched on Amazon, so you can have a look at the Start Over Volume One. But it's obviously I'm in it, so I'm obviously going to say it's good. But what I'm saying is that it is actually good because it's 140 authors that are all telling stories of how they overcame a certain form of adversity. And so it's been split into 10 books. So you've got 14 authors in each book. And it's it's really interesting and empowering and enlivening. But it's such a variety of stories have now been included in this book. And just the diversity of different adversities that people have overcome. It's really good, I would say, as a tool for if you've got a friend or if you've got someone that you're trying to support and there's a similar story in there, it might help them.
Thank you, Adam.
Sounds great.
Next.
Hello, I'm Chris, and I'm a marketing coach. I specialize in working with older people because they're brilliant, and younger people are brilliant as well, but they're not brilliant in the same way as older people. So older people get a patina of wear and tear that makes them extra beautiful, and there are two serious reasons as I work with older people. One is that they have a lifetime of experience and they want to turn that into a business that will benefit other people. And their frustration is that most of the marketing methods that are available assume that you're in business to make a profit. Now, you might be older people can and do make a profit and they need to, but that's not usually their priority. It's often having had a career in something over a longish period. They want to branch out, be their own boss, but also to offer something back. And the main tool I use is storytelling. And just one other thing that I'll mention is that I'm currently publishing a series of blog posts about the River Porter, which is one of the 5 main rivers in Sheffield. And the next one's going to be published on Wednesday, and I will put it in the chat of the Creatives Connect. It's going to be about my conversation with a giant toad, and it includes conflict with a very friendly dog. And guess who won?
The toad.
Well, the toad has a sort of overall, but between me and the dog.
Okay.
Are we supposed to be guessing, Chris? Or you...
I think it was a rhetorical question, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
I just
I
realised
was
that
sort of
after I
assuming that someone else would pick up the baton at this point, but
Oh, it sounds really good, Chris. I'll have to check on Creatives Connect and look in on it. Thanks.
yeah, I'll just remind, if I don't put it on, remind me. So,
Okay.
Adam's put Chris in the chat.
Oh, Chris wins
You're on mute.
against the toad and the dog.
He's on mute.
right, who won, me or the dog? Right, yeah. Right. I think we're getting clear as to what the question is. I'm not so sure about the answer, but not to worry.
Okay, and anyone else want to go next?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes. So it's Magdalena from Vienna, and I'm greeting everyone in the UK, especially in Sheffield, where I used to live for 6 years in 2010 to 2016, and I worked as a German teacher at the University of Sheffield, but then I became a jewelry designer, and I worked at Bank Street Arts and had my studio there and went to markets. And that's when I also met Helen once upon a time ago. And it was a very important time of my life. I met so many amazingly creative people, lovely people, and I will never want to miss this experience there in beautiful South Yorkshire and with those people, because I always wanted to develop myself in that way as the people inspired me there. It would not have happened here in Vienna. But I returned here, and after being employed in a funeral house for several years, I became I became self-employed again, and I'm now leading a little guest house, and its name is Mia Peony Garden Cottage. So the cottage came with me from England, and so my wish is for my life to to provide places. I want to create places for people to be, and also to develop or to show their creativity, or find just a place where they can find themselves and open up. And I'm happy to be in contact with Helen still, and I got some beautifully painted stones from her, and also her oracle card deck. And yes, it brings me back to English nature, to the fairies and the little folk there. And I really love it. And spring is a perfect time to connect with you all.
It is indeed. Have you got, what kind of spring weather have you got in Austria at the moment, Magdalena?
Yes, it actually I was just working on my terrace, so this is why my nose is blocked, because spring always also brings the little
Hay fever.
yeah, a little bit of sneezing into my nose, but it's beautiful. And yeah, good to be with you.
Oh, and your Mia
Mhm.
Mia Peony, sorry, I forget the name of your little garden
Mia
accommodation,
Peony Garden Cottage.
garden cottage. Absolutely gorgeous. Can't, I was going to come and visit you, wasn't I, just before COVID, and then we didn't manage it because the lockdown
Yeah,
came. Yeah,
but I'm still here. You
you're
can
still
come,
there,
everyone.
and the cottage is
Yes.
lovely. I would recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, you can find it on Google now. Mia Peony Garden Cottage in Vienna apartment. Good. So,
Thank you so much. That sounds so beautiful. I'm so grateful that you're here today and sharing it with everyone here as well. And you can join the WhatsApp group, and if you want to share any pictures or anything like that, I'll put the link in the chat box.
thank you.
Does anyone else want to share before we go on to the meditation, music, pictures part?
Yeah, I'll share.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, so I'm Yvette. I'm working the NHS by day, a kind of holistic therapist at night kind of thing. Um, Mainly focusing on sort of like massage and body work, but I am also Reiki trained, and also gentle release therapy trained as well. Um, I also enjoy doing dance, and that's how I met Gemma through it was street dance, wasn't it, where we met? Yeah, but then I've sort of like specialized in Brazilian samba, and for me, I think that's where sort of a lot of my creativity sort of like lies in terms of like moving the hips.
Yeah.
Um, for me, spring. I was actually born on the spring equinox, 20th of March, so
Oh, are
that's the
you?
main reason
Wow.
why I'm here.
Does that make you a cusp baby?
Yes, I am on the cusp.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I'm Pisces, but I've got Aries rising, so I'm a bit of a kind of cusp.
Yes, I'm pretty much the same as well.
Oh, of course you will be, yeah.
Oh, that's really great. I love that you've come here because of being a spring baby. I think that's great. And yeah, Yvette does art as well, and just a really creative person that I'm really glad that we've reconnected, because we knew each other from dancing, but then there was a few years where we didn't see each other, and then we reconnected and have all these other things in common, which is really, really great. So
And
thank you.
dancing is so lovely, especially in springtime, out in nature. Connects you,
Yeah,
doesn't it, so much with the natural world.
definitely. And one of the activities that I recommend is just putting on a song every day and just having a little dance. Or you don't even need music, you could just dance, with the fairies. Do whatever you want, but it's just, I think, moving the body in that free way just really gets the creative juices flowing. And yeah, so I'd highly recommend doing a bit of dance if you can. Um, Anyone else?
I've just I know it's slightly off topic, but it
No
kind of
worries.
links in with mental health, because sometimes we can have seasonal affective disorder over winter, and then in spring when it gets lighter it might lift. But if you're struggling mood wise, somatic dance can help shift that, because it links in with your amygdala. I've just done a PTSD thing online, and if you can't get your brain to work, get your body to work on behalf of your brain beforehand, and it's really useful. So I thought I'd just pass that on because I learned it yesterday. So
Yes, thank you, Helen. Okay, so I don't know if Kerry wants to share on the chat box. Adam says running in socks near barefoot has also been good.
mm.
I'm going to get up the... So as you can see, I've been creating some music, and this is some of the pictures that me and Helen, well, Helen sent me most of them, so most of them are Helen's, but there is one that's mine as well, the blossom. And we were just talking to each other about the topic of spring and getting ideas together, and Helen sent me these pictures, and then the idea for the music came because I was just getting creative inspiration, and just started writing things down, and then went to my keyboard and started playing. And we've also got a piano just recently as well, so that's been inspiring me to play more piano. And I had a piano lesson as well with Matthew. His surname is, I'm going to be doing a gig with him soon.
Excellent.
Um,
Will you share that on Creatives Connect?
well, he's Matthew Grayling, and it's Matty G Keys on Instagram. But he is creating a course. Yeah, I'll share about the gig as well. We're going to be playing with Emma Saville Music, and I'll be doing backup singing, and he'll be doing the keys. And it's on the 26th of April. And so this is just, he taught us a few things on the piano for his course. He's doing a piano course, and I learned how to do, I don't know if it's gonna actually, I don't know if you can hear, but he taught us how to do, just you do something at the bottom of the...
You can hear that fine, Gemma, yeah?
Can you hear it? Yeah?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of just doing a couple of notes at the bottom, and then just doing little sounds at the top. So this is how I created this piece of music, was from this technique that I learned from Matthew. Okay, so here it is. It's called The Sounds of Spring. So as you can see on the screen, this is card 35 from Helen's deck. So Helen, would you like to explain a bit more about this card?
Yeah, of course. It was in lockdown, and it's just up the road, you know, when we were allowed to go out for an hour walk, and boy, did we all appreciate that hour. So I found a footpath that I hadn't been down, and I went down it, and there were little pheasants hiding in the hedgerow, and I saw one sort of sitting on a nest, and I saw some bluebells, and there was a bit of a gap, and I took a photograph, and this is the image that came out with a little face looking through the photograph, and I've called it Child of the Hedgerow, and it's linked with fairy magics, new growth, and springtime, and the little sort of line to go with this card is be one with nature. Every spring offers a new start. So it's blue to do with communicate, well, a little bit of blue with the bluebells to do with communication and calming and peaceful. And yeah, you're right, Kerry. Gemma's music is absolutely beautiful, and it really resonates and feels like a little spring rain on the plants, making them all grow. And I'm going all tingly like I did earlier on. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for creating the music to go with it.
Thank you, Helen. Yeah, I was explaining how I'd been in a little bit of a creative funk recently where I hadn't been writing much music, even though I've been working on my second album. Oh, I finished my second album. So all last year I was doing a master's degree in music, and it was music, performance, production and business. So there was a lot to it. But part of my final project was creating an album. So I created an album last year and I finished it at the beginning of this year, so in January. So some of those songs are now available to listen to on my Patreon. So I have little previews of the songs are on the Patreon that you can listen to, and then if you join, I think it's the second tier and above, then you get to hear some of the songs that will be on the album. And I worked really hard on this album for so long. It's not just the year that I was doing my master's degree, but it was also previous years. I think some of the songs is like 11 years old, some of them. So I remember writing one in London. So that was when I was doing my BA in musical theatre. And it's a very, I think this album is my gift to artists, because I feel like a lot of us don't get the validation, the recognition, the acceptance and appreciation that we deserve, in the sense of, I'm not saying we should be elevated above anyone else, but it's just about, there tends to be certain artists that get a lot of attention, and everybody else doesn't get much attention at all. And what I wanted to do with this album is give back to the artists themselves. So this is my love letter to artists, and each song is a little snippet about the creation process. So some of them are about mental health. There's about abundance, which is the topic we did. Adam, you were on the call for the Patreon the other day for abundance. Do you want to share a little bit about your experience with that song and the topic on the Zoom call the other day?
Main thing I remember, the song was excellent. Genuinely excellent, Gemma. I think your songs are good because they are encountering something that is present in the sort of zeitgeist, the sort of current thinking that's going on. And so I really like the song as well. Just the a topic of abundance. Like I think we reached a conclusion that abundance was basically like fulfillment. But it was like a cornucopia of things, so you felt really fulfilled, not just like kind of fulfilled. And yeah, I got a lot out of it. Um, Abundance, I feel, is really important because I think that people should feel fulfilled. And I think like oftentimes like if you get something like a bad sandwich or something like that, people don't complain, and so they get like less than enough. And I think that ultimately you want quality stuff. So I think abundance is fulfillment, and I think we got to that sort of conclusion in the end last time round.
Yeah. I think obviously abundance is probably more of a summer topic, because in the summer that's when you get the abundance of things that you've created. But spring, if we're going back to spring, it's when you first start to see the tiny shoots of that abundance coming up, and it's quite an exciting time, especially for creatives, because I don't know if you've been feeling it, but it is that renewal of that creative energy. So for me especially, I just feel like I'm getting a lot more ideas and a lot more momentum and movement than previously, where in the winter time it's more of that hibernation period.
I found that I've been getting a lot of hay fever, so like I've just been being bombarded by that. But then like I say, I went out to run with these super socks, and I'm not saying that they're all that, and I was definitely cautious of like treading on nails or anything else that was on the trails. But I have to say is that I read a book a while ago, can't remember what it's called. Born to Run, I think it's called, and it's about the Tamahura tribe, which are a tribe that run barefoot, but they run with straps on, basically. So they strap their feet, but they run with bare feet, and they are some of the best runners in the world. And there's an Instagram post floating around that is of a lady who took part in a marathon and an ultra marathon and won the ultra marathon, and she ran barefoot. And
Wow.
the what I've found is that I've been getting a lot of pains in my feet from trainers that I've been wearing, but then when I've run barefoot, I'm not getting the same pains. At the moment, I'm getting calluses on my feet because obviously I haven't built up the bottom of my foot yet. But I'm not getting pains in my ankles or my backs of my legs or my back anymore. And I was when I was wearing running trainers.
Are your
So
socks special grounding socks, the one that you wear then?
well, they've got like a pad on them, which supposedly is supposed to stop ripping through it.
Okay.
However, I would say that I can feel the geometry of gravel and stuff as I stand on it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. All that I'm saying is that I wouldn't go and dive on sharp nails or something like that. But like if I watch the path ahead and run, like it feels really comfortable actually. It feels really comfortable running. And also you're in contact with the earth. And I definitely had a moment running back up the hill where I felt like I've not felt it in ages because I've just had so much hay fever, but I felt that connection with the forest again. And it's weird, but like that was definitely there. And I was running and I was like my feet were had these pads on, but they were in contact with the mud. And what I'm saying is just that I had the moment where like there was sunlight was coming through the trees and I just felt like reconnecting to nature. And it was really good. And so I can recommend them, but I would still take care if you're going to use them.
Yeah.
And so they were called Conjon Super Socks, but they weren't that expensive for what they were.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing your experience with the socks, Adam, and I'm glad that you reconnected with the forest as well. I wanted to ask if anyone has, well, I want to ask the question, and we can start with Helen and then anyone else that wants to share as well. I'm going to ask the question, what does spring represent or mean to you?
To
And
me,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
no,
Was
that's
there
it.
another
That's
part of the
it.
question? Sorry, Gemma. Just
Yeah.
in your face. Carry on, honey.
No, that's fine. Sometimes I ask two questions and I realise it's probably best to ask one question at a time. So go for
Okay, for spring. For me, we did have a little chat earlier on because it's quite personal to me, but I've been not working. It's been an energy that's been around for about the last year. But I'll just tell you this little thing. When I was little and I couldn't sleep, And I used to say to my dad, what shall I think about to go to sleep? And he used to say spring. That was the phrase. And it was lovely because he wasn't telling me what to think about. He just gave me that word and let me use my imagination. And that was his gift to me that has meant so much in my own personal development in the last year. And that's one of the reasons why I love spring, because it reminds me of my dad. I'm start crying now. But yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Helen. It's such a beautiful imagery to have, that your dad gave you. And it also really reflects your personality as well. I think when I think of spring, I think of you in the sense of your energy is very spring-like.
It is. I think that's the, is that the Aries bit? Because we're babies, aren't we, us Aries people? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, honey.
Okay, who else would like to share what spring means to them?
I'll go for it. Okay. Just like, so spring to me represents like the exit from winter, and I think that originally was that a lot of calendars were actually based around the spring being around March time or in the March time, and I really do feel it is that it's like things are warming up, and the last couple of years has been a big sort of like freeze and a big lag in getting into spring. And so I've noticed that things seem to take off a bit more around about April time. So I just like, I think it's great. Like I see it as the end of winter, definitely, and like the beginning of turning into summer. So
Yes, thank you. Okay, Femke's just joining. So anyone else want to share? Feel free. I'm just popping the link for the group as well in. And Femke, the question is, what does spring mean to you? So if you want to say hi, you can say a bit about what you do as well. Anyone? Femke, I don't know if you're there. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
And what spring means to you?
Are we putting it in the chat or are we?
Oh, say it out loud. You can put it in the chat as well, but I just wanted
Right,
people
okay.
to share as well.
I've just come in from a lovely full moon chakra dance session. And we talked about spring feelings and stuff as well there actually, and how it's just, yeah, just new beginnings, new growth. Just part of that creativity, I think, the really kind of creating, feeling more abundant because everything is starting to bloom, and so you feel like you can rise with that energy. I think that's kind of and it's I've always felt a bit, because it's my birthday month and usually the weather is a lot warmer and nicer, and so yeah, it just feels like kind of it could be a rebirth of certain things. I guess.
Yeah, I love that. So we've got quite a few spring babies in tonight.
We have, yeah.
Does anyone else want to share out loud what does spring mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's like people have said, it's about like the change in the weather, because it's like lighter nights, because I know I get affected when it gets darker as well. And I think probably this year I'll probably feel the power of it more, because before, like, I was a carer. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but this year I feel as though I'm going to be achieving a lot more. And I mean, I did Femke's chakra dance on Friday, so I'm probably still feeling the effects of that as well. So yeah, I probably feel that I am appreciating it more now, I think. and because I've got more freedom now as well. So I'm probably might even be reacting more to it as well. Or
I think you've definitely got a rebirth energy
yeah, I
going
know,
on.
don't they? It's all Helen's fault, obviously.
It's all my fault.
Yeah,
Sorry
it's
about
the fairies. It's the fairies again.
that. Fairies,
But yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think as well. And if you get through the winter, I think sometimes you think if I don't feel depressed during the winter, and if I get to this point, I thought, oh yeah, it's lighter and I just feel better generally. And I think, oh, I've got through the winter without feeling, having some sort of major depression or something. But yeah, I just feel as though, it's like a rebirth. You can do more things, and it's not as cold and stuff like that. So I probably, but this year I know I will definitely get more of the benefit this year than I've probably had for the last few years as well.
Sure you will, honey.
Thanks, Vicky.
Yeah, it's an interesting word, spring, because it has more than one meaning. I can't think of anything to do with the word spring that means sort of jump or a thing that bounces back. But one of the meanings that currently means a lot to me, because I've been thinking about the River Porter for a long time, is that rivers begin with springs.
Of course they do.
Of course, well, of course, yes. And one of the springs right up round the Ringing Low area
I know it. I go past that bridge regularly.
is the Porter, and then various other springs. I think it's a Mayfield Brook and various others, and altogether they form the Porter Brook and eventually the Porter River. But if you think about the water that springs from the earth, those early stages as the river grows and develops, and the river valley tends to be steeper than it is further down. So you get waterfalls and lots of water splashing around. So all sorts of interesting plants that you've never heard of, like liverworts, grow alongside of it. And it's and it feels young and youthful, like the season spring perhaps does as well. And then gradually the river slows down and becomes more sedate. And then, in the case of the Porter, as it enters the city, it becomes culverted and canalised and old and grizzled. And it's been older and more grizzled than it is now. But you can see that sort of progression in the development of the river. So there's something about the source in there, and on a probably not entirely unrelated topic, really just a question for Helen. I can see the face in the card,
Mm.
and the thing it reminded me of is the Green Man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that there's such a thing as a green woman, but you'll set me right, I'm sure, if if there is. But if you go into churches and look for the carvings that are a little bit out of sight and
Yeah.
not, then you very often you'll find a green man, and it's a face made up of leaves. And I wondered whether that was one of the inspirations for that painting.
Yeah, yeah. I love the Green Men bosses. I went to Canterbury a couple of years ago and saw them in the cloisters there, which were probably quite old. Yeah, I don't know if there's that many green women around. I mean, I've seen them in shops and things. I've got some little ones in the garden that are made, casts of them.
There's green
I think
Tara.
there is green Tara. Yeah, yeah.
Is that a Buddhist?
I think it is. Yeah, but I mean, there are green goddesses. I'm not talking about the lady that used to.
Yeah, yes, I'm sure it's true.
Yeah, and I'm sure. Yes, you're right. It's the same sort of theme. But but this definitely had a sort of childlike kind of energy to it. Yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah.
Yes, there's a sense in which uh, the rivers are forever young and forever old at the same time. You know, it's and that great philosophical debate: is it the same river?
A bit like
But
chicken and the egg kind of thing. Both they're joined together, young and old, at the two different ends of the spectrum, as it were. It's the
yes,
same source. And also, when you mentioned the spring, I know we're going off topic slightly, Gemma, but when you mentioned the spring, as in the water source, the beginning of the river, it made me think of sacred springs and goddesses, and the fact that every water source has got an energy that's related to the angels, the Nereids, is it? The water
yeah. Is it
goddess.
no, dryads are trees, aren't they?
Dryads are trees. Anyway, they've all got spirits relate, and that's why we put coins in wishing wells, because we're honouring the spirits of the wishing wells, the water source.
But
So
well, it seems that a lot of rivers have a goddess.
they
The
will.
River Don is Danu, and obviously that name relates to Danube, the river there. So she's quite a common god. But I've not been able to find out whether the porter's got a goddess.
Oh, okay.
Although somebody did do a sculpture and submerged it in the porter just upstream from the cemetery.
Oh,
It's more or less disappeared now. I've got some photographs of it.
yeah.
But so I don't know whether that was meant to be the goddess of the River Porter, because obviously I don't know who made it. So
No,
uh,
wow, interesting.
yeah. But or does the goddess of the main river also lay claim to the little rivers that flow into the main river?
Oh, I don't
Um,
know. I don't know. I have read a book by someone. I can't pronounce his name, but it's because I think oh, he's from a country that I can't remember, Lithuania or somewhere. Oh, I'm just getting it off the shelf. Sorry about this, Gemma. Oh, yeah. Right. Anyone's interested in nature, spirits, and elemental beings? Marco Pogaknik. It's really interesting, and it's quite technical, but I definitely recommend. That's a Findhorn book. So it might be,
find yeah, it's Scotland. Yeah.
yeah. Is it Findhorn? I'm not great at pronouncing things,
Well,
but yeah,
don't ask me.
Findhorn, Findhorn.
It's spelt Findhorn.
Yeah,
I mean, you could perhaps put the details in the chat, and then we can all spell Pog, whatever it was.
if I can figure out how to use the chat.
Well, if you press the button, if you move your mouse, you'll see things come up at the bottom, and it says chat, and you press that, and it should appear.
Oh, right, okay, thank you. I'll put the book title and the name in. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, you do that on the chat, and I'm just gonna show. So we're almost finished, but I'm gonna show some cards that I pulled. Well, I actually didn't pull them. They were just. I was getting my deck, so I also have a deck of cards called Self Love and Creative Cards, which you can get from myself. They're £20. If you look here, so I did them with BT Design, a collaboration, and they're really a special card deck that mean a lot to me, and was really nice to collaborate. And I was going to get them, and there was some cards just at the top of where I was getting the cards, and the two were these, and I thought it was just amazing because they're the colours of spring, and the words as well: nurture through nature and shine your radiance. So I thought it was perfect for today's session, and I'll read you the back of the cards. So on the back of each card has tips and prompts, and then affirmations, and you can also write your own at the bottom. gives you space to write your own. So tips and prompts, and I'll say this is going to be for spring. So these are your tips and prompts for spring. Go for a walk in nature. Lay or sit outside and look at the clouds moving across the sky, or if it's blue sky, just watch the blue sky. Or watch the trees sway in the wind. Do some gardening. Go out and simply be with a flower or a plant. Connect with its beauty and notice its essence. And the affirmation is, I am one with nature. Nature nourishes me. So that's this one. And the second one, Shine Your Radiance, is imagine there's a shining light within the centre of your being. You can hold it in your hands or in your heart or belly. Reach your arms up and out and imagine you're sending this vibrant light to all around you, expanding beyond your room and past the cities and out into the universe. Feel this radiance being reflected to you. Do a radiance dance or song. And the affirmation is, I am radiant. I shine my light with happiness and joy. And this was actually an idea I have for some workshops called Shine Your Radiance. So I'll keep you updated, but I did get that download as I was dancing the other day to do some in-person workshops to include dance and singing and art or anything that can spark our creativity and to help us to shine our light and shine our radiance. So I'll keep you updated if those any more downloads come of what I'm supposed to do with those. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And if you want to know more about myself, you can go to my website www.jemmarosenthal.com, and if you go /creative-hearts, it'll also take you to the coaching side and the Reiki side. And you can listen to my music online as well and join Patreon to hear the Abundance song first before everybody else, and also another song called Songs That Live Inside You. Thank you so much. And Helen, do you have any last words for us before we go?
Thank you for the cards. I was scrolling through and listening while I was sending hearts on the chat. Thanks for the instructions. I had to use the chat, by the way. Yeah, it's been lovely. Thank you so much for having me. It's the first one I've done, and it's been so nice and so easy, and I've not been nervous. So thank you very much.
Thank
And
you
thank
so
you everyone
much.
for attending as well.
Thanks, Helen. Thanks, Gemma.
And thank you for anyone that's watching on the replay. And if you want to join the group, it's on the chat as well. So thank you. I'll stop the recording.